What's up, movie fans and Netflix bingers? This is the Bros Who Binge podcast. My name is Adam Schubert, and as always, I'm joined by Lyndon Burton. Lyndon, how are you doing this week?
I am doing one word, and it said great by my guy Future.
Sensational.
I'm doing sensational, but nah, on the real though, doing real well. Glad to be back talking movies with you. Didn't get to talk sports with you this week, so it's good. Just talking with you, man. I miss you.
Yeah.
Glad to talk some movies this week. We got some good news, even though last week it was a little short on news. There's a lot of good news this week, and we're doing a draft today. I'll let you tell him since you came up with the idea.
When we did the draft for Justice League, I thought that was really fun because it's a little easier pool to pull from when you're pulling from fictional characters than actors, and especially when you're trying to when we did the Tarantino draft, you're like drafting what Tarantino would do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of difficult in that way. So I wanted to get back to the fictional characters, and since we did the DC side of things, I thought let's do a Marvel draft.
Oh, okay.
But you can't do who would be the Avengers, because that doesn't really make them the Avengers. But I decided that we would draft which heroes would you put in your Marvel team up movie?
Okay.
So we're gonna draft heroes to put on the hero side, and then you get to draft your villain.
All right, so we get six heroes and one villain, or two villains?
I would say two.
Two villains? Okay, cool. And six heroes. All right, bet. I'm excited, but I can have one villain if I want, but we do we're able to get two. But once a character is gone, just like in the other drafts, we can no longer use them. So that's going to be really interesting with this, but I'm excited,
the fight
man.
For Spider-Man.
But whenever you're ready, Schubert, I'm ready on this, and we got a lot to get into, so let's not even hesitate.
Before we get started, it's at the top of our notes. I wanted to, say rest in peace to Alex Trebek. I'm a huge Jeopardy fan. I have all episodes of this season taped. His final episode is going to air on Christmas Day, and all of his most recent episodes that they did this year before he passed away are still currently airing. So you can check those out for sure.
Also, rest in peace, Sean Connery.
Oh, yeah. Rest in peace, Sean Connery. I was a little bit far. I think that was a couple weeks ago.
But we didn't talk about it last week, so I just wanted to throw that in there because I know we're going to give them a moment of silence. So I just wanted to say rest in peace, Alex Trebek. Rest in peace, Sean Connery, man. Lost Alex Trebek, a legend. We lost one.
All right. Well, there will be our moment of silence for Alex Trebek and Sean Connery. The one thing I want to say, when I think of Sean Connery as of recently, you know how OJ does his things on Twitter or whatever,
mm-hmm.
and I find it fascinating to just watch these crazy OJ rants sometimes.
Yeah, they're hilarious.
And his ass is talking about, he's like, "Oh man, rest in peace, Sean Connery. I remember the one time I was, going into the locker room in Brentwood, and I saw that Sean Connery's name was in there, and I was like, whoa, Sean Connery's a member." And as soon as I said that, he comes walking in the locker room, and I'm like, "Oh, how are you doing?" And he was a great guy. And I asked him if he wanted to go to a Lakers game, and he was like, sure. So I end up, picking up Sean Connery and taking him to a Lakers game to sit in the box.
That's crazy.
Oh, God, for OJ.
That is wild, but rest in peace to both of those dudes. Are we going straight into the show now? Or are we doing the thing, the hyperspace thing?
We are going to do the hyperspace thing because we are ready to jump into the news. So let's get started. The first one, I'll let you read that.
Yeah, because I didn't know how we were going to do the notes thing. So the first story, because usually you read the first one, but the Alex Trebek thing was technically the first story. So, all right, James Gunn, we got some casting for Peacemaker. He refuses to reveal anything about the timeline of Suicide Squad because he doesn't want to spoil his movie or his series. But Deadline broke the news that Danielle Brooks, you may know her from Orange is the New Black, she is joining the spinoff series. She will play Leota Adebayo, although it's not clear what the character will get up to since she doesn't seem to be a notable DC Comics character. Knowing James Gunn's affinity for the 1980 Suicide Squad comics, it's possible she could be adapted from one side hero character or villain that he's decided to expand on. Also, we have other additions to the cast. Robert Patrick will play Augie Smith. Chris Conrad, playing a big role, will play Adrian Chase, Vigilante. You may know him from Arrow, who I got to say, when Arrow did Adrian Chase, they did a damn good job. I want to give props to the Josh Segarra. He did an amazing job as Vigilante. So I'm interested to see how Chris Conrad will portray the character. Jennifer Holland's also set to reprise her role from the Suicide Squad as Amelia Harcourt. And King Shark will also be reprising his role coming back on.
Oh, so King Shark.
So this is big news, man. Adrian Chase. I'm so interested in this.
Yeah, adding Vigilante into the mix definitely brings a lot more people who, I don't know, I guess Vigilante still is a little bit out there of a character, but he's like the most notable name out of the characters that are put in here.
Him and King Shark.
King Shark, but I mean, King Shark doesn't really like want to get your eyeballs to the TV.
That's a fact.
So,
I'm interested to see if Adrian Chase is going to be like his partner, if they're going to be villains, because Peacemaker is one of these anti-heroes like Vigilante where he's going for justice, but he's killing, he's doing whatever it takes to suit his idea of justice. So will Vigilante be opposing him, or will they be kind of like this Batman and Robin hit squad?
That's a good point, because since he does have since he technically is a villain.
Yeah, Vigilante's not necessarily a villain either. He's more so an anti-hero, just like Peacemaker.
Like maybe they're a part of like the same crew.
That's what I'm saying. Like maybe they're teammates, or it's gonna be, or they go on like a mission together. Because if I have to guess, I think this is before Suicide Squad. I think I think this is before. If it's after, the balls on James Gunn is pretty large. But either way, I'm super interested. And to cast Danielle Brooks, a great actress, and Robert Patrick, who people may know from, I'm trying to see what I know his face. He's one of those guys that's like that guy. But he was in Terminator 2.
Robert Patrick isn't the most notable name,
Yeah, well, I mean, he was the villain in Terminator 2. He was in the X-Files. He was in Walk the Line. He's just, if you see his face, you know who Robert Patrick is.
Bad cop in Wayne's World.
Yep. So I'm excited for this, man. This is big news, and I'm really pumped to watch the Suicide Squad and the TV show. This just gets me, like, Marvel, thank y'all for getting rid of James Gunn, because he's given a lot of good DC greatness that I can't wait for. But I'll let you take over, because now it's time to get to some Star Wars news.
Oh yeah, man. It's pretty crazy out here. I'll start off in a little bit of a timeline here. So the first story that I see coming out of the week is Sophie Thatcher joins Mandalorian, but sources say it could be for a Mandalorian spin-off series, which Bob Iger's talked about before, about how they're interested in adapting characters from the Mandalorian series and making them into their own series.
Sophie Thatcher's a young actress.
Yeah, Sophie Thatcher and Pedro Pascal, fun fact, did a movie together.
Oh, okay.
Like where they were like father's daughter, I'm pretty sure. Like they had like a tight relationship. So,
okay.
Season 3 of Mandalorian was recently listed in Production Weekly with the working title The Buccaneer. So does it, with them going to a planet mostly on water, does that mean that maybe something from this trip to Trask could, really spurn something into a future spinoff? Because the next day, rumors arise that the possible spinoff series will start filming as soon as next week. Mm-hmm. And they also rumored that to be a Boba Fett series. Which I could see Boba Fett becoming a Buccaneer.
They've been itching to do a Boba Fett series for forever. It's just going to be interesting.
It's not confirmed, though.
Without his armor. Like, without his arm, like, is he going to have the armor? I doubt he will. So, like, we're going to actually see Tamar Morrison. So, good for him. But, like, I'm just interested to see how they make this series cool if it is, in fact, a Boba Fett series.
Well, that's where, like, the Buccaneer thing gets me thinking, because like, what if Boba Fett becomes a pirate? Not
Mm.
necessarily, your Luffy Straw Hat pirates in a pirate ship, but
Or
a
Jack
pirate
Sparrow.
in a Star Wars sort of way,
Yeah, space
space
pirate.
pirate.
Yep, kind of like whatchamacallit was kind of one. In his gang, Bill Burr and his gang, they were kind of space pirates.
Pretty much. Pretty much. That's
Yep.
exactly where I would be thinking that. A lot of people have been saying that maybe Cad Bane would make an appearance in that series.
Ooh, that I would be down for. I would totally be
Uh,
down for that.
so like Boba Fett series is definitely exciting, and I'm interested in it. I think that Boba Fett series would be a reason why we would never see him left in the Mandalorian. Like, imagine that they've teased Boba Fett in that last episode just to be like, well, he's alive. So
Yeah.
what, and
Now
then
we're
this
gonna do
series comes
something with
out.
it. Yeah, true, 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 true. That's a
So I
good
could see
point.
that being the case, or if he comes back in some capacity, that could possibly be another lead in.
Yeah, just like a
Um,
tie-in to get us there.
there was also other rumors out there that they were thinking about doing a Cara Dune, Katie Sackhoff, with a Bo-Katan series, but I doubt that that's going to happen
Yeah,
because
especially with what's her name, and
with
she's still
yeah,
tweeting reckless. Gina
yeah, with
Carano is just wilding out there every day.
yeah. So I don't know about all that, but there is let's see, did I put this in there?
Mm-hmm. George Lucas
Uh,
sequel.
No, not the George Lucas sequel, but there are also rumors out there for a Star Wars Disney Plus spinoff that has a female-led showrunner that is hiring up a bunch of martial arts people.
Ooh.
And that was that news came out early on. That was originally supposed to be thought of as like the Ahsoka series. So maybe is that the series that they're going to go ahead on?
Okay. Okay. So what's this
Um,
George Lucas news?
well, George Lucas has been on a circuit of just talking to people who want to like get quotes from his books, and most recently, some of the stuff that I found here was something that was in a book recently published about comments he made post prequel
So this is not a
about
sequel that's happened. This is what he would have done.
pretty much, yeah, this is what he would have done if he would have been given the opportunity to do the sequel.
Okay.
And the gist of it is as follows. The galaxy post Return of the Jedi would be in chaos. Several Imperial holdouts still try to cause problems for the fledgling New Republic. Meanwhile, a crime syndicate run by Darth Maul and his apprentice, Darth Talon, a Lady Sith from the Star Wars Legacy comics, would be the actual major antagonists. Luke would create a new Jedi Order from the remnants of Order 66, a little too late for that. And Leia Organa would be the New Republic's Supreme Chancellor. In fact, Lucas was planning to reveal that she was going to be the chosen one of the prophecy, not Anakin. He also planned to have Luke become one with the Force in the eighth movie, just
That
like
already sounds
Ryan
better.
Johnson did.
That already sounds way better than what we got. Like the fact that we're getting a crime syndicate run by Darth Maul and his apprentice, but that would have messed up Rebels. But I digress. That sounds like
Well, this
pretty
was
dope.
before Rebels.
Yeah, true.
So, like, the thing that you have to keep in mind with this is, like, obviously Filoni was listening.
Yeah.
Like,
And see, I think the difference between this Luke going one with the Force and the one we got, I'm sure Lucas we would have got to see badass Luke in 7 with his new order of the Jedis. Like, it would have been fire because he would have done stuff. It wouldn't have just been him on an island being an outcast. Like, we would have got to see Luke be the Luke that we know. And the fact that we're going to get Leia as the chosen one, all of that sounds amazing to me.
yeah, she was supposed to be, like, the ultimate chosen one. The whole thing was supposed to accumulate into that. But, I mean, of course, the thought process with George, at least, around this 2005 era time, and even before then, leading up to 2005, we were thinking about doing a sequel with like Luke, Leia, and Han at a reasonable age, not old.
True. That's very true.
So
That is
yeah,
very
you
true.
get
But
what you get.
that martial arts thing you mentioned sounds really dope. And the more I'm thinking on it, that's got to be Ahsoka Tano. That's some
It could be
Jedi shit.
Ahsoka. I think it could be like some
Sabine.
crazy Night Sister stuff. Sabine with Bo-Katan. Like it could be all sorts of stuff.
I'm
Like
hyped for that.
that's the thing about like when I see like the female led Star Wars in production thing. It's not like they're trying to like shoehorn females in there. There's already some like badass female
Yeah,
characters
there's
that
some
are
amazing ones.
definitely need to be explored.
And
So
just us talking about this gets me excited for Star Wars, but it's like they're not doing the cool shit. And hopefully Filoni and Favreau now see that like we're down for this shit that they're making. So like we're gonna get Mando, we're gonna get Ahsoka. Like that's what we want from Star Wars. Hopefully that Obi-Wan series is cool. Hopefully Cassian Andor is cool. A Boba Fett series would be dope, but explore the criminal aspect of it. Like you said, a pirate. Let's see these space pirates. Let's see Cad Bane. Like there's so much room for growth with Star Wars, and I just want to see it. I just want to see it succeed.
the Boba Fett series, I think what they really wanted out of Mando, and I guess we'll talk about it later on when we talk about the episode, is that you wanted Mando to be like this anti-hero kind of guy, and he
He's
still
not.
kind of
He
is.
kind of is, but it's not like
He still kind of is, but it's not as much as like what I think you could get out of the Boba Fett series. Like I could see the Boba Fett series
Mando
being
is
to a point where
Spike. Like Mando is
yeah,
Spike Spiegel. Like he had a interesting path, but now he's like a bounty hunter for good.
for sure, yeah. Where like I think Boba Fett, like it could be something where maybe we're not even rooting for him, but he's
Yeah,
just still the guy that you're following.
a legitimate anti-hero. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. Do you have anything else with this Star Wars stuff?
The Star Wars Holiday Special Disney Plus show that the Legos are doing.
No.
I saw the trailer and it looks, it's for kids, but I mean, it's definitely taking its own liberties as Lego should. So
Good for that. Well, all right.
maybe it will redeem the past Star Wars
So
special.
we shall see. But next up, okay, so the Halo live action adaptation has been in the works for forever, but it was announced back in mid 2008 when Showtime got the series in the green light that production kicked off last year, but it was halted due to the COVID pandemic. And it started closing down back in March. Now work has resumed, and Showtime has shared a photo of Pablo Schreiber wearing a portion of Master Chief's iconic helmet. It's a nice tease that indicates that the series is going to remain faithful to the video game from that standpoint, at least. In Halo, Schreiber will portray the iconic Master Chief's petty officer, John 117. Natasha McElhorn is taking on the role of Cortana, and Catherine Halsey, while Shabana Azimi will play Admiral Margaret Paragonski. Bokeem Woodbine is playing Soren 066. Kate Kennedy Kai 125. Natasha Kolzarak Riz 028. Bentley Kalua is playing Varnak 134. Also, Steve Kane and Kyle Steve Kane and Kyle Killian serve as co-showrunners of the series. While the plot details are being kept under wraps, it's believed that the show will focus on the war between the United Nations Space Command and the Covenant in the 26th century. Halo's premiere was originally scheduled for early next year, but it's probably going to be delayed due to COVID, so we could get it late next year or early 2022. But the fact that we see a picture of Pablo working again and they're filming, that gives me so much expectations. And Showtime's putting out some decent stuff, so this could be huge for Showtime to get it finally like in the conversation of like the streaming service wars. Like if this Halo show is successful, this could be big, because I'm assuming that this TV show will start off with game 1 and start off with the earlier parts of the war, and then the next season or season 2 and 3 go over 2, and then 3 and 4 go over 3, and so on. And like this story can last for forever if they do it right.
For sure. I mean, I think it's definitely really exciting, and that they're getting
Showtime's Game of Thrones.
Notable actors behind it and putting the money into it, because we've seen like different iterations of it before, always low budget.
And I love Pablo Schreiber.
Yeah, Pablo Schreiber's good.
He's one of my favorite actors.
I had to look up Natasha McElhorn, but I remember her now. She's from the Truman Show, Designated Survivor.
Oh,
yeah. Yeah, they've got notable actors in this. I think.
Natasha McElhorn looks like she looks like watered down. What's my girl's name? Meryl Streep. She looks a young version of Meryl Streep. She was in. I know her from Californication.
Okay, yeah, Californication. Yeah,
she's the wife too. Yep.
Yes.
So I'm excited for this. Are you excited for this Halo show?
Very skeptical, but I do like the.
Are you skeptical because of Showtime?
No, I'm actually not skeptical because of Showtime. I'm just skeptical because how do you relay the story. It's just another video game thing that we've talked about
Mm.
before. Like, Assassin's Creed is a great idea for a movie, but if you don't execute it right, then like it doesn't work.
I think
Like,
this is a little easier because it's a war, and like American studios know how to do war stuff. But the thing is, it's sci-fi. How much budget are we going into this? Like, there's a lot of questions, but I think it could be special. And I
like
actually am higher on it than you are, but I do understand your reservations.
yeah, my reservations aren't necessarily have to do with anything of the production. It's just like, I guess, the writing.
Mm.
Like, where are we going with the story? How is it going to make the viewers feel like they're doing justice to the game, but likewise, how is it going to make people who don't really know the game interested?
Yeah, okay. I got you.
So,
And then it
but
could be great, though.
but yeah, it could really blow Showtime up for real.
That's a fact.
The big news that everyone has been talking about this week is that Johnny Depp is exiting Fantastic Beasts, and Mads Mikkelsen is going to take his place. Fantastic Beasts 3 is set to release July 15th, 2022.
I understand why they're getting rid of him because I did see that
He exited.
Yeah, well, he exited. I understand why they had that conversation because even though he proved his innocence, there were still a court that found that he did some stuff. But Amber Heard should not be Mara anymore. If Johnny Depp has to leave, Amber Heard should not be in Mara anymore because she 1,000% abused that man. And I know this is not the podcast for that, but she lied and she got caught. So, like, she should not be able to be Mara if he can't be in Fantastic
Grindelwald.
Beasts. Yeah.
Even though, being Grindelwald isn't as big as being Mara, that's for sure.
That's a fact. And it might be better for his career that he walked out on Grindelwald anyway.
Exactly. That's the other thing. It's like, maybe it's a blessing in disguise, but definitely I don't think he had to have walked off.
Yeah, that's true too.
So, but I, honestly, adding Mads Mikkelsen in there is not that bad of a choice. But would I believe a love between Mads Mikkelsen and Jude Law? That's the question.
That's the thing. See, I believe the Johnny Depp Jude Law love. Can Mads portray it the right way? Like, Mads is a good choice to be a villain, but do I believe the relationship between him and Jude Law, like you said? That's the question.
So we'll see about all that. I think Fantastic Beasts 3 actually has the toughest, the most work it's got to do because like that last movie was trash. Yeah. And also you're living off the expectations of like this, Dumbledore Grindelwald relationship.
Yeah, and Dumbledore's like this great wizard, and we're gonna see the big battle. Like Grindelwald's supposed to be Voldemort before Voldemort. There's a lot of expectations. Like to me, I don't even know why Newt Scamander is gonna even be important.
Well, I was about to say, and then you have to remember that Newt Scamander is the main character. The main character. So, like, that's who you're going to be following.
Yeah.
And so it's just like, it's
time to put Harry Potter down, if we're going to be honest. But
I think
it's even more time to be put down the next story, and I'm ready to trash that shit.
Oh yeah, there's a couple things in this in the notes this week that need to definitely get destroyed. And the first is this film, the fourth installment of Gerard Butler's action franchise, has its latest installment, Night Has Fallen.
That's what I got to say about that. Why are they still making these fucking films? These films are horrendous. Okay, the first one, Olympus Has Fallen. Cool. That was a cool premise.
It was like a C+.
It was a decent action movie. That's all it was, an action movie that was decent. Gerard Butler, you hadn't lost me at that point. You had not lost me. But let me go down the list of just trash. London Has Fallen, garbage.
Which is garbage, but understandable as a sequel.
Understandable.
I can understand that.
The next one, Angel Has Fallen. That's where you lost me. Shit was just horrible. In between Olympus Has Fallen and Angel Has Fallen, Gerard Butler went from this quality action star to just one of these straight-to-DVD trash actors. We get Gods of Egypt, September's of Shiraz, A Family Man, Geostorm, horrible. Oof. The only good thing he put out was Den of Thieves. Den of Thieves was actually good, but The Vanishing, Hunter Killer, and Angel Have Fallen, all trash. Gerard Butler has I don't know if it's like Ryan Gosling and Idris Elba of an agent problem.
It's not.
I don't think it's that. I just think Gerard Butler is just not that guy, man. Like, we thought Gerard Butler was going to be this big action star, but he's more so Steven Seagal in what's my Jean-Claude Van Damme than Stallone in Schwarzenegger.
Well, I mean, I think what the issue is with Gerard Butler is that he still thinks of himself as the lead.
Yeah, he still thinks of himself as a
Where
300 guy. If he would be a character actor, it could be good for his career.
That's what I'm saying. Like if he moved into the supporting roles, I think he could really get some like really solid movies.
There's no reason why Gerard Butler's not like a head of a police station in like a good Jake Gyllenhaal, Ryan Gosling movie, or he's not like the henchman or co-villain of a Ryan Gosling, Jake Gyllenhaal movie. Like, there's no reason why he doesn't do that. But like you said, he in his head is convinced he's still this 300 lead actor when, brother, you are not.
Yeah, I mean, he even just needs like a solid number two. Like one of my favorite movies he did was Timeline, and he and Paul Walker were a perfect duo for that.
Yep,
so
that's a fact. In Den of Thieves, like it was Pablo Schreiber's movie, but he bounced off of Pablo Schreiber very well as the villain or just the antagonist.
Put him in Halo.
Good job. Put him in Halo. Yeah, no. I would love to see him as like a CG villain character. It would work. Or as like a head in the army. Like that would work as well. But that shit, Night is Falling, you already heard the booze. Next up, we got Paramount Pictures is broadening the Quiet Place franchise. The studio has set Jeff Nichols to write and direct the third film, which is based on an original idea by John Krasinski. Rumors are that it isn't a straight sequel, but rather a new story. That gives me hesitations because this was John Krasinski and Emily Blunt's idea. How can this new person take it over in a new way? That's what I'm waiting to see. But hopefully Jeff Nichols does a good job and maintains the quality of the series.
What really excites me about this, honestly, is that, with A Quiet Place is supposed to be in the same world as Cloverfield. And so if this movie can in some way explain why that's the case, or give like a further explanation between the two, I would be super interested in that, just because I really like the Cloverfield stuff. But yeah, other than that, I really haven't ever watched The Quiet Place. So
it's a good movie. Like I gotta say, what John Krasinski and Emily Blunt made was a good movie and a good franchise. I think both movies are pretty damn good. But you know what's not a good movie? Let me just get ready and cue the boo button. I gotta cue it up. Bloodshot 2 is in the works with Vin Diesel returning. Trash. And the thing is, the Valiant universe has so many cool heroes. Ninjak, Exo Manowar, even Bloodshot. The idea of when you do Bloodshot 1 and it's successful, that means we can start this Valiant universe. But because Bloodshot and Bloodshot 2 are by Sony and Vin Diesel, I have no expectations of getting a good film. This looks like it's going to just be trash. The first one was not that good. And I was so happy that I was able to see Tenet in theaters, because if the last movie I saw in theaters was Bloodshot, that's a sad, sad day. And I'm just not excited for this. That movie put me to sleep. That's how boring it was.
Hey, don't forget you saw New Mutants in theaters too.
Oh yeah, I did. New Mutants was good too. New Mutants was better than Bloodshot. That's a fact. You got anything on that, or did I cover everything?
Do you think that possibly Bloodshot 2 would be the movie to
introduce those characters? It should in theory, but I just don't know if what they did in the first one set that up, and I don't know if like Sony is putting the money behind it, and quite frankly, I don't know if Valiant wants their IP to be run by this Sony Vin Diesel team. Like, y'all got Bloodshot, cool. Y'all keep that. We're not letting y'all do Ninjak, because they have too much good stuff to where if they got it done by a legendary, or if Amazon got the property and was able to do another universe in their streaming service world, that would be ideal. That's ideal. If I'm Valiant, I'm trying to sell it to Amazon and get the fuck away from Sony. Not just get away, get the fuck away. Because what they put out was fucking dog shit. No, gotta just be honest. Next up, we got Chris Pratt and Wu Jing from Wolf Warriors will star in the Universal Pictures remake of Saigon Bodyguards, based on the Vietnamese action comedy of the same name. The original film centered on two professional bodyguards who let the most important assets slip away. The Russo brothers are listed as producers. Well, this could be cool.
I think it could be cool.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
just
know.
depends on
I guess it's
the
a
comedy
Universal
style.
Pictures remake, so I
Mm-hmm.
guess it would go into theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's something that's gonna like make a lot of money in theaters. Like to me, this seems
This is
like
streaming service bait.
another shot at Extraction.
Yeah,
So,
exactly. And if it says action comedy, so which Chris Pratt are we
well,
getting in
with Chris
that?
Pratt,
Like which comedy style? Because like if we
I think
do,
you're getting Star Lord.
oh Jesus, I hope not. Like I prefer Chris Pratt as like what he was doing in Jurassic Park, Jurassic
Like
World, because he
when
does
I saw
comedic elements in that, but it's serious to a certain extent.
when I saw this, you know what I thought of right away?
Hmm.
Rush Hour.
Ooh, I thought of Green Hornet, but Rush Hour is a good point too. You know the Seth Rogen Green Hornet movie that was kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah, this could be Chris Pratt's Rush Hour. You're 100% right.
Shanghai Nights.
And he is not more so Shanghai Nights. He's more Owen Wilson than Chris Tucker, because Chris Tucker made me believe it. Owen Wilson, shaky. And that's how I feel about that. But next up, Wheel of Fortune is getting a celebrity spinoff series for the first time at ABC. The network has ordered a series of Celebrity Wheel of Fortune, which will see the long-running game show make its premiere debut. The spinoff will be hosted by Pat Sajak and Vanna White. This is cool. I like Celebrity Family Feud, and it's a good way to give money to charity, so I'm down for Celebrity Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, I think the winner gives $1 million to charity.
Fire. Good.
Which is all good. That's the best part of the celebrity stuff, but I really don't like the celebrity stuff.
Oh, you're not a fan of Celebrity Family Feud?
Because like what I enjoy out of game shows is that you have like the common everyday person going out there and making a fool of themselves.
Got you.
Where like these are celebrities, and like a lot of the times, well, at least for the Family Feud, they bring out people that I just don't even care about.
I like when they do the NFL players or like NBA teams.
I like when they do like the sports guys, that's for sure. But yeah, as long as this Wheel of Fortune spinoff doesn't mess up with the day-to-day Wheel of Fortune, I'm cool with it.
Pat Sajak wouldn't. I feel like they had to get a good idea for him to do that. I don't think they're messing up their IP.
Was Pat Sajak now the king of the game shows?
Gotta be, because everybody else is retired. Bob Barker, no longer there. It's with Drew Carey. And I gotta say, Drew Carey does a good job with Price is Right. I also gotta say Emily, what's my girl's name? Emily, who was in Power Rangers. Emily, who does Price is Right. I mean, not Price is Right. Who does
Elizabeth
Whammy.
Banks.
Oh, yeah, not Emily. Elizabeth Banks. I think she does a good job with Whammy. I think the lady from Glee does a good job with The Weakest Link. I just wish they had the trap door. I like The Weakest Link a lot. I'm just missed the trap door. I do not like Leslie Jones's game show, but that's because I feel there's a better grocery game show with Guys Grocery Games that is very similar to that, but it has the cooking aspect of it. And I just feel Supermarket Sweep was cool in the 80s, but with Guys Grocery Games, I'm more intrigued to watch that than I am Supermarket Sweep.
And no disrespect to Leslie Jones.
It's not Leslie Jones's fault because she does a good job.
Honestly, I don't like her. And that's not that she is like bad at it, but I think what made Supermarket Sweep so good was that goofy ass like host that they had. Like I just can't, and it wasn't the host that did like a lot of the stuff. It was like that typical 80s, 90s game show where you had like all the cheese, like you had like the loudspeaker guys, and just like the overall feel that it gives is just
it takes a special person to host a show, because like honestly, the best hosted show has to probably be Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady. The way he hosts that show, and I saw Let's Make a Deal in primetime, it was really damn good. His team is good. Like I said, I think Drew Carey's good as well. I think Elizabeth Banks is good, but just not to just shit on Leslie Jones. I think the card shark, Joel McHale, is not good. I think his show is trash. I think it's the same situation with Leslie Banks. Like
Jimmy
Leslie
Kimmel
Jones.
and Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Yeah, I don't like Jimmy Kimmel on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And I think Jimmy Kimmel probably has the best late night show out of like him, Fallon, and like Corbin. Like the only other
That's
guy.
a hot take.
Jimmy Kimmel's better than all of them. The only person that I don't think he's better than is John Oliver. I think John Oliver is the king of.
And he doesn't really count.
Yeah, he doesn't count, exactly. So Jimmy Kimmel to me is the best, but I do not like him on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Him, Leslie Jones, and Joel McHale, the worst game shows out right now.
Besides the Match Game.
What's the Match Game?
with Alec Baldwin and all the other
Oh yeah,
celebrities.
that
It
one
was like
sucks
from
too.
straight from the 70s.
That one's the worst. You're
You know
absolutely
what? You know
right.
which one I do kind of
Oh,
like?
Steve Harvey does a great job with Family Feud. I
Yeah,
didn't give Steve Harvey credit.
I didn't know if you had already said that.
No, I didn't.
But I do like To Tell the Truth with the guy from Blackish,
With Anthony Anderson?
Anthony Anderson, and his mom. They host To
Oh,
Tell the
I didn't even.
Truth.
I need to watch that. I never even saw that. But yeah, Pat Sajak definitely the king of game shows. He's the oldest one running, and his show still feels fresh every damn day. So I'm
And
excited for that.
and he's a veteran, so we filmed this on Veterans Day. So thanks to all the veterans.
100%. Thank you.
So the next story that we have is that Netflix has picked up the right to another festival indie, and I think you'll like this one, Lyndon.
Mm.
Jennifer Hudson and Kelvin Harrison star in Monster. Monster, which premiered in Sundance in 2018, is a featured debut for the music video and commercial director Anthony Mandler, and his
Okay.
all-star cast includes Jeffrey Wright,
Ooh.
Jarrell Jerome,
Ooh.
Jennifer Ellie, Tim Blake Nelson,
Ooh.
Nas, John
Ooh.
David
Oh my
Washington,
gosh, this career is
and
this
Rakeem Mayers, better known as ASAP
ASAP.
Rocky.
Yes, sir. This sounds great. What's the story?
The story follows a 17-year-old honor student, Harrison from Harlem, whose world comes crashing down around him when he is charged with a felony murder.
Oh, I'm
Obviously, it's a
all into
Sundance
this.
film, so it's going to be super drama, but I mean, like, look at those
I
names.
hope Jeffrey Wright's his lawyer, and I hope like John David Washington is the opposite lawyer. Like there's so many ways I think of this.
Like the prosecutor, like
Yeah,
maybe Harvey Dent.
something like that. And Jarrell Jerome would be great. Tim Blake Nelson probably is like the cop or something. Like there's so much good shit in this. I'm very, very interested in this. Good for Netflix. Good for the whole cast. I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah, I mean, I thought this was a really cool
And this is the type of
pickup
shit
for
I want to
them.
see John
And
David
I'm
Washington do. Like I'm being
well,
like
and I'm surprised that it hasn't been seen or picked up earlier since it was came out in Sundance in 2018. Like this is an early John David Washington film
yeah, super
that
early.
has is gonna
This is
be
before
put
he
out.
hit his stride, so I'm interested to see how he does this.
Yeah,
And
so
I
it's
love
gonna
seeing Jeffrey Wright. So
yeah, big time. Jennifer Hudson too. It would be interesting
yeah,
to see her do something that's like not singing
and
oriented.
good for Tim Blake Nelson too. After Watchmen, this is something that could be big for him as well.
Yeah, he's dope. So Apple TV has unveiled a stellar ensemble cast for its new murder mystery comedy series,
Ooh, a
The After
comedy.
Party.
Okay.
Tiffany Haddish,
All
Sam
right.
Richardson from
Okay.
Veep, Zoe Chow from the shows Love, Life, and Downhill. I don't know if you've ever seen them. Ben
No.
Schwartz.
Nice, my guy. Is that Middleditch and Schwartz?
No Middleditch, but yeah,
But
this is
Schwartz,
him.
okay.
Yeah.
That right now you already have me sold with Tiffany Haddish and Ben Schwartz.
Ike Barinholtz.
Ooh, Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish have a great movie together where they're
Yeah,
married.
the Thanksgiving one.
Yes, that's a great. Hold on, I'm gonna get the name of it. But I loved Ike Barinholtz and Tiffany Haddish's chemistry. So he's another great name to add to this.
Alana Glazer.
Oh, I'm sold. I'm sold already on the cast.
Dave Franco.
Oh, I'm even more so. I'm more. It's called The Oath.
The Oath, yeah.
Yeah, The Oath.
Jamie Demetrio from Fleabag and
Mhm.
John Early from Search Party, which is a
This is a
show that I
great
saw on
cast.
HBO Max.
This is a damn good cast.
So they're gonna star in the series from Chris Miller and Phil Lord.
Even better.
Miller created this 8-episode single camera comedy series, and it's set in a high school reunion after party. Each episode will feature a retelling of the same night told through
I'm
a
in
different
it.
character's perspective,
I'm
each
in
with its
this.
own unique visual format and film genre to match the teller's personality. Haddish will play Detective Danner, the eccentric detective assigned to solve the high-profile case. Richardson is Anik, a lovable escape room designer who hopes to reconnect with his high school crush, Zoe. Chow is Zoe, a former artist turned school administrator who is newly separated from her high school sweetheart. Schwartz will play Jasper, Unique's relentlessly positive best friend who dreams of a career in music. Barinholtz will portray Brett, Zoe's ex-husband, an arrogant former high school athlete.
That's gonna be
Glazer
hilarious.
Glazer will play Chelsea, the former high school valedictorian and class president.
That's gonna be great as well.
Franco will portray Xavier, once a dorky high school drama student, now a famous pop star and actor.
Fire.
Demetriou is Walt. Ignored throughout high school, Walt attends the reunion with hopes to be remembered. And Early will play Detective Culp, Detective Danner's overly eager partner. So Miller will serve as creator and showrunner and executive producer, and Lord will executive produce through the pair's Shingle Lord Miller.
This sounds great. This is so good for Lord and Miller's career. I know they had the stumbling blocks with Han Solo, but seeing the Spider-Man movie get Spider-Verse be great, the Lego movie be great, and we know what they How I Met Your Mother, we know what they did with the Jump Street in that form of comedy. So them getting back into that world with this, I'm excited for this. The last two stories are very high on my list of that sounds fucking dope. Like that cast and just the characters they're playing, it just sounds like they know what they're doing. The fact that Ike Barinholtz is the ex-jock, and now you have Dave Franco as this nerdy dude who is now a pop star, and then Tiffany Haddish as the detective, Alana Glazer as the valedictorian. It just works. It just all works.
And to think of these characters, and that's why I went through all of the description, because the fact that each episode is going to retell the same night through a different character's perspective.
I love that.
Not only through the different perspective, but through a unique visual format and film genre to match the teller's personality.
And we know they can do that with Spider-Verse.
Absolutely genius.
We saw how they do that stuff with Spider-Verse, and just thinking of how Knives Out did the murder mystery. We see Ready or Not doing it. I love that it's coming back. We get all those Agatha Christie's with my boy from Tenet, Kenneth Branagh, and now we're getting this version of it. I'm thrilled. I'm thrilled.
Yeah. And the one thing that is, I guess, a little bit me making a big, I guess, kind of a big statement, but how we always say that we trust Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I trust Apple TV.
I think I'm kind of with you now.
I mean, Apple TV, most everything that they put out on there,
pretty fucking good.
I really enjoy it.
So. Like I would put them right now in terms of quality. It's HBO, Amazon at the top. I'd say they might be next.
Yeah, when it comes to quality,
straight quality, not quantity. I think they might be next.
And I think that also has to do with them having a lack of quantity.
That's a fact.
Because Hulu and Netflix have just done so much.
They've done licensing. Yeah, they're just the licensing crew. And then of course Netflix does their originals every now, not every now and again they do them, but every now and again they're successful. But I'm not mad at that statement of Apple TV because it is great. Like if you haven't seen Mythic Quest yet, you're a fan of It's Always Sunny, you're missing out because Mythic Quest is amazing. The morning show is amazing.
The morning show.
I really like C with Jason Momoa. I think that's a good action show.
Ted Lasso, with Sudeikis.
Ted Lasso's great.
Oh, very good.
So shout out to Apple TV. That's big, and I'm definitely going to be watching this Lord and Miller show.
All right. Well, the other story that you have been really excited about is Millie Bobby Brown in her new role in the Netflix adventure movie Damsel from director Juan Carlos Fresnadillo or Dio.
Yeah, Fresnadillo.
Who did 28 Weeks Later and Intruders. The plot details are few and far between, but all that we know is that Millie Bobby Brown will play Princess Elodie, who's duped into thinking she's been betrothed to Prince Henry before discovering that she's actually going to be sacrificed to a dragon. It sounds like this one might have a comedic tone, but the trades don't seem to know very much about it yet.
This is kind of.
I gotta imagine it's comedic.
Yeah, this sounds meh. Netflix to me. I don't know. Millie Bobby Brown, Enola Holmes wasn't that great. I don't know. She's trying to. Kudos to her. She's trying to make it, and we're seeing how these Stranger kids. We talked about Caleb McLaughlin last week. You are fed up with Finn Wolfhard and getting all the young white boy roles, and we're trying to see Millie Bobby Brown. She did Godzilla. Enola Holmes. So hopefully this is good for her career.
Yeah, I think she's just trying to find a movie. She's
trying
done
to find
the success on Stranger Things, but she wants to
do another one.
Step.
Yeah, that's a fact, and she needs to. So hopefully this works. But with Netflix and it's comedy, I don't think they're gonna go like too mature with the comedic level. I think Millie Bobby Brown's trying to make this show for teens and kids.
I don't know about that.
I hope it's not
The I think it could be a little bit more serious than that. Like I'm
because of the
thinking
director.
because of the director and because like the whole purpose is that she's going to be sacrificed to a dragon. I'm thinking like maybe if it's not super comedic, it could be a little bit. I think I could
It
see
could be
where
a
this could be
horror.
serious.
I
Not necessarily horror, but like I could see it being like slightly comedic. It just depends.
it
Like if
really
you,
does.
it depends on if you're trying to do like disenchantment or if you're trying to do like shoot.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking it's gonna be like Disenchantment.
That was the first thing I thought of.
Yep.
But
And I'm thinking of the Amy Adams princess movie too with
oh,
Disney.
what that's like Ella
Ellen
Enchanted.
Ellen
No, that
Enchanted. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Or like
no,
some
that's Anne Hathaway.
Oh, well, what's the Amy Adams princess movie?
I think
Okay,
it's
here we
just
go.
Enchanted.
It's just Enchanted. Yeah, I
All
thought
right.
of that too. So hopefully it's not that. Hopefully it's more Disenchantment than Enchanted, but we shall see.
The last thing I have here is Hardy Boys. They did a trailer. They're going to have their own Hulu series. Did not know that this was coming, and it looks trash.
Oh, okay, that's why you told me I didn't have to watch it.
Yeah, it doesn't even look like it's like true to form with the Hardy Boys. Like I was thinking, like it would almost be like a different mystery of the week kind of thing.
It's
Like
not.
people hate on procedurals, but yet people are
They work
still
with
watching Law and Order
and it works
and
with
stuff like.
cartoons. Like
Well, yeah,
Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo was one of the greatest procedurals ever, and like if the Hardy Boys followed the Scooby Doo formula, it could work.
like I mean, if the Hardy Boys were like tackling a new case like
Murder
almost every
case each week.
episode,
Yeah.
but like this seems like it's going to be way more big on the conspiracy of the town. But I think that has to do with stuff that was in the books. So I guess you can't hate on it too much. But it's just like I don't know. It's probably just not for me at this point too. I think they're trying to get in that young adult
The
bag.
young, yeah, the kid audience.
But
100.
yeah,
So, all right, next up we got Tenet is coming to DVD on December 15th. Schubert's telling me to buy it for him for Christmas. That'll probably be your Christmas gift then if you want that, brother. All right, y'all make
I
sure.
was telling you or the fans.
Oh, you are the okay. Well, I'll probably get it for them, fans, since so y'all don't have to. But Tenet, December 15th. All right, let's get into rumors and small stories. So a couple weeks back, we told y'all that Michael B. Jordan was the ideal lead for the Mark Millar comic that they have called Prodigy. And I read Prodigy, and it is fucking amazing. Like, oh my gosh, talk about it's James Bond meets Batman, but it has like this amazing Kingsman X vibe to it. And the fact that they wanted Michael B. Jordan and Mark Millar thought of Michael B. Jordan when making it, and now Michael B. Jordan got offered the role. Hopefully he accepts it because this could be a big franchise for him. It could work like James Bond meets meets Bourne. Jason Bourne meets Batman meets Sherlock Holmes. Yeah, I'm not going to say Batman. It's more Sherlock Holmes meets James Bond with like this black character, and it has so much heart, so much swagger, so much dope action. I'm super, super excited for that. So hopefully Michael B. Jordan takes it because I could see that being a big role for him and being his next franchise. I'm going to go through all of them, Schubert, then you can give your thoughts on them. Next up, WB still has plans to bring Will Smith back for a Deadshot movie show or just to have him in a movie or a show. Hopefully he can be in the James Gunn's Suicide Squad world because Will Smith's Deadshot worked really well. Emily in Paris has been renewed for season 2 at Netflix, as well as Umbrella Academy for season 3. Only 10 episodes though. Next up, Magic Order. Oh, it's not gonna happen. The Magic Order is being retooled. A decision was made that the series as currently envisioned won't move forward anymore, but Netflix hopes to revisit it because they love it, as well as it's a part of Mark Millar's deal. But as of now, it looks like they're going forward with Prodigy, and then instead are going to retool Magic Order. And I'm glad they're going with Prodigy because that's a great thing, but they need to get Magic Order right because want to talk about getting Netflix an amazing franchise. Magic Order could be something special. So, Schubert, what do you think of these small stories and rumors?
What it sounds like is that if they were going to take a property to introduce the Mark Millar stuff, that they're doing the right thing by pulling Magic Order and then putting out Prodigy first.
Mm-hmm. Getting it
Because
right.
obviously they just didn't feel like the Magic Order had had what it takes to be like the one to push the Mark Millar world into Netflix.
But it sounds more so like they just didn't have the right script because you have to adapt it the right way because
Well,
it's
that's what I'm
such a
saying.
good
Like,
comic.
if you don't feel confident about it, then like don't let that be your rollout.
Yeah, that's a fact. And go with Prodigy because it's something that American audiences can relate to. And like you said, it's a good intro to the Mark Millar verse. So once you understand like his writing styles and the way his shows will work, then you'll be more adapt to accept Magic Order and understand it.
Yeah. But with the WB Deadshot, I don't think Will Smith would ever sign on to do a Deadshot series.
Maybe
But
HBO Max. I
well, I
just
mean,
don't
yeah,
see Will on TV
that's what it would
anymore though.
be. I just don't see him being, I just don't see him being on TV. Do see him, appearing as Deadshot in a series or a movie.
Yeah, that's what I think is going to be. I don't think he's going to get his own anything anymore. I think it's going to just be him roaming the DC universe like it
But
should
if he's
be.
cool to do that, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
cool
I
with
think
that.
if, even in like Marvel, like if there was characters that were, in the Marvel MCU
That
that
has to
said,
be
you know what,
Wolverine.
yeah, I mean, Deadpool is the one
Deadpool's
that I'm
another
thinking
option
of
too.
at the moment that's already established. But like if you're, I don't think you have to necessarily have every single person have their own movie.
Yeah, or
Like
TV
that's,
show.
I mean, that was the thing. Like I'm glad that Black Widow finally did get a movie, but it doesn't necessarily have to. Like with Hawkeye, like Hawkeye is never going to
Yeah,
have a movie, and even that series isn't really going to be about him.
it's more so about Kate Bishop. Yep,
So like, but Hawkeye is like a central piece.
that's a
I guess
fact.
like what Nebula is a character that is essential that
Never
doesn't
got her
have
own
their own
thing.
movie.
Yeah, true.
So
No,
like you don't necessarily have to have like your own thing to be able to be a contributing factor.
and
So
Deadshot works as like a person who roams. Like he's an assassin. He gets hired for tasks. Let him get hired in the Batman movie. Let him get hired in a Suicide Squad movie. Like that would be
that's what I
great.
was about to say. I was like, I could see that, but the timelines might be off for the Batman
Post
stuff, which is
Flash,
the thing.
post Flash.
Post
Once
Flash.
post Flash, that's when I think, and that's why I think it's like they still have plans for him. It's just they have to get all this other stuff out first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um,
So
Emily in Paris and Umbrella Academy. I haven't heard good things about Emily in Paris. I guess you're the only person who said it was
no,
good.
a lot of people I'm hearing like it. So like, good for Emily in Paris. I'm not gonna let you just shit on it. It was pretty damn good. So I'm excited for that, and
But
good for Umbrella Academy.
there
Hopefully
wasn't
we go to
Umbrella Academy
Japan.
10 episodes last season anyway.
I think it might have been 12, but 10's
I
cool.
think it was 10.
It might have been. I might be wrong. But that's all we got for rumors and small stories. Let's get into the movie on the rise, and you can start us off.
So the new show I have on Movie on the Rise this week is Big Sky. I've talked about it before. I'm really excited for it to come out.
That's the George Clooney thing, huh?
No. That's Midnight something.
Oh.
But Big Sky is a TV series coming out on Amazon
Oh, on
about,
ABC. Yeah.
or my bad.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
on
police
ABC.
procedural. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's not procedural. It's, like a mystery thriller.
Mm.
Some girls get kidnapped in the
Oh,
first
yeah, it's the
episode
Big
and they're
Little
trying to
Lies
like,
creator. Yeah. This could be
yeah.
good.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm excited to check that out. That's coming the 17th,
Okay, so
so
later
next
this week.
Tuesday.
Yeah, next Tuesday. Okay.
And then the other thing I have on Movie on the Rise is Wayne. Wayne, I've talked about way early on in the podcast, like I think like in the 20s, 30s episodes, because it was rolled out with the launch of YouTube TV. And, because YouTube TV was still kind of picking up its momentum, it
Trying to
kind of
figure out what it
fell
wanted to be.
pretty much. And so it kind of fell to the wayside. Like that was when, they were like, oh, we got this show Wayne, we got Cobra Kai, but people weren't really going to YouTube TV for like original content.
And then they changed their whole format to just be live TV, which I think works best for them.
It works best for it. But I'm glad that Cobra Kai was able to find a new home, and now that Wayne is able to find a new home at one of our favorite places, Amazon.
That's how you know it's good.
So Amazon hasn't necessarily, grabbed its teeth into it and expanded on the series yet, but they did put the first season that came out last year
So hopefully, if
on the
people
site.
watch it, that means we can get a new season.
Yeah, and that's what I'm doing right now, telling people to watch it. I've gone 5 episodes in. I'm really enjoying it. The young actors are doing a good job, but also has some older actors that
What's
I
it
really
about?
like. Wayne is a 16-year-old dirty Harry with a heart of gold, sets out on a small two-stroke road bike from Boston to Florida with his new friend Dell to get back um, a Trans Am, a 79 Trans Am that was stolen from his father before he died
Okay.
by his mom and his
Oh, this is a pretty good
mom's lover.
cast.
Yeah, Mark McKenna and Sierra Bravo are the two like main leads, and they do a really great job. You got the Mayhem guy from Allstate is in it.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
Yeah, Mike O'Malley, who you definitely recognize his face when you see him. James Earl, same case. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot of
that's what I was
people
about to say. James Earl, I definitely recognize.
that when you check out the series, you'll be like, oh, I know that guy, I know that guy. And they're from Brockton, Massachusetts, so they have really thick Boston accents,
Okay. I'm gonna
and
definitely
they
check
like to
out Wayne
fight.
this week before our next show. So I'll let you know how I feel about it next week.
Yeah,
Um.
the positive thing about it too, everyone knows that I like short stuff. It's like 30-minute episodes,
Oh, okay, lit. Word. Well, I'm
so
definitely gonna
you can
peep out
blast through it.
Wayne. So y'all make sure y'all check out Wayne and Big Sky. I got to your suggestions, The Good Lord Bird. It is starring Ethan Hawke. It is about the abolitionist John Brown, and it's kind of Hunters-esque, where they're going through and basically killing fucking racist and slave owners, and he's setting slaves free. So it's a pretty damn good show. You can watch. It's on Showtime, so you can get it on Hulu or Amazon if you have the Showtime subscription. And if you also have a Showtime subscription, I want to give a documentary that I didn't know existed, and I think Showtime competes with HBO in terms of sports documentaries. I think 30 for 30s kind of fell below the wayside. They haven't been as good as when they originally were, and HBO kind of took the crown, and Showtime's right there with them. They have the Muse documentary, which is the Kobe Bryant one. I think the Ron Artest story is immaculate. They had the Stephon Marbury one for a little bit before it went to streaming, but this one is called Basketball County. It's in the water, and it's about this county outside of Maryland, D.C., where like Michael Beasley came from, Victor Oladipo, KD. Just they have over 10 people in the league, like
Oh, wow.
whatchamacallit, like they have so many people that just 10 right now, and all the past people. It's such a good story about this area and how basketball became so big. I couldn't recommend this documentary enough. It is great. So those are my two suggestions for y'all this week. Schubert, what are we doing first? The draft, or are we doing Mando? We could do Mando
Yeah,
first, get
so
that out the way.
yeah, that's what I was about to say. Like if it was a different week for Mando, I'd say we should close.
I'm glad you're
But
honest. It can I boo Mando this week?
I wouldn't boo it.
Can I
But I
give it?
mean,
All right,
like
all right, all right. I'm not gonna boo it. I'm gonna give it this sound effect for it. It's just
that's
meh.
fine.
It's meh this week.
It's man. Like it starts off real hot. Let's
Yeah,
be real. Like he gets ambushed by some bounty hunters that are trying to get the child, and he
he
comes
kicks their
into a
ass.
standoff. Yeah, he kicks their ass. Comes into a standoff with one of the little guys, who is a reoccurring character from one of the sequel movies,
Mm.
and well, obviously not going to be in the sequel movies because he dies, but it's the same species or whatever. But so he wants Mando's jetpack in exchange for the child, and Mando gives him the jetpack. I'm like, you just gave him your jetpack, what? And then all of a sudden we see him shoot him up in the air, and the dude falls, and he gets his jetpack back. The baby looks up at him, and he's just like,
Yeah, he's like, nothing I can do about it.
so like
And
that's
I hate that frog lady that's about to come in.
yeah. So that's one of the first signs that a lot of people have been talking about that are analyzing the Mando super hard about is the child going to have some dark side tendencies because of all the killing that Din puts him through. So and I
If
think
anything, it'll
like
be a
we
great
even
Jedi, because Jin doesn't do anything that's evil per se.
yeah, but he doesn't necessarily have like
That's what I'm saying. Great Jedi, and
yeah,
a person that uses the Force that's in the between, and it makes sense that Ahsoka Tano is
Ahsoka
the
would
one
be
that
his
finds him.
teacher or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after that, yeah, it gets back to Amy Sedaris or whatever. So Peyton Reed directed this
What a waste of
episode,
Peyton Reed.
which
And
was
I know
yeah
you're a
definitely
fan.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Peyton Reed. So it was definitely a waste of Peyton Reed. Maybe he gets another episode, probably not. But of course, he had to have a giant ant in his episode, Dr. Mandible. And that's where Mando comes in with him and Amy Sedaris. Amy Sedaris tells him that she has some this person who knows where Mando is.
Mandos
You just
are,
got to
yeah.
give him a safe passage, but the catch is you have to travel sublight, meaning
Yeah, you
not with
can't do light
hyperspeed.
speed, so you got to go just super slow, and pirates are coming after their ass.
Yeah, things that happen with that. So you meet the frog lady. Um, Amy Sedaris speaking frog, I thought was pretty funny. I'll be honest.
And then you have Baby Yoda always trying to eat her little eggs.
Another thing, like this little evil kid, dude, just
It's just
killing
hungry.
younglings.
It's not killing younglings. It's just hungry, man. It doesn't know the difference. I'm not gonna let you do that to Baby Yoda. His ass was just hungry. And then this is the closest thing to Star Wars horror we've seen
I would say
with
so.
the
Even
spiders.
it was pretty scary. So I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like I don't think you can boo this episode because like there were some things that were. I thought that the intro was good. I thought that they gave you a good feel of that cantina, that Mos Eisley cantina, even though I mean that's just like a small nitpick thing. But then once you get into the ship and they're traveling or whatever, you encounter Filoni and I can't remember the
The
actor's
rebel
name,
pilots.
but the two rebel pilots, and that's like a callback to the last episode with Bill Burr, where they're like, "Oh, you were the guy who,
Yep.
you know."
And they were like, because you saved the security guard, we're not gonna kill you, and we'll let you get
Oh,
away with it.
and capture those other guys, Bill
Yeah,
Burr and all the
and
friends.
we'll let you go free. And Mando asks for help, and they help him fix his ship, and he basically just dips out with the frog lady.
Now, another like, two major things that happen in this episode that I'm not saying major, but most interesting things. The space slash planetary ship battle where he's escaping the X-wing stuff, that was dope.
Yeah, with the
That
Razor
was
Crest.
some really, really good special effects work. And secondly, the spiders was also very good special effects work.
And Baby Yoda eating another little egg at the end.
Yeah, that's funny where he looks back at the lady or whatever. She's like covering the eggs, and he like turns and he's like,
little sneaky little brat, bro. I love it. I love the little characterization they're
it
giving him
was,
without having him talk.
where a lot of people say filler, I call it more of a lead up. It
It
seems like this
definitely
is the
was
part
filler.
one of a part two.
Hopefully, because like, man, we had big expectations for episode 2, and none of those things we predicted happened. So this felt like the Rebels Clone Wars episode where it's like, all right, this is the
Which
in
is funny
between.
because the spiders are from Rebels Clone Wars.
Exactly. This felt like 1000% the in between. So whatever. I'm excited for the
Um,
next episode though.
oh, let me check real quick. So what I do know about people directing the rest of the way, Carl Weathers is doing the fourth episode.
Oh, so that's probably when his character's gonna appear. Let me see. I'm pulling up the episode list
Um,
so we can talk about that.
Episode 2.3, I don't know if they have a director for that one yet. So that's going to be a surprise.
Oh yeah, the
But
episode 3 we don't have a director yet. 6, 7, and 8 we do not know, but we know that 4 is
5,
Carl
yeah,
Weathers and 5 is Filoni.
that's Ahsoka.
3 was written by Jon Favreau. 4 was written by Favreau. 5 was written by Filoni. So, like you said, that's definitely Ahsoka, or that might be some the Blade, the Dark Saber with Moff Gideon. And then, funny enough, 6 was written by Favreau. 7 was written by Rick Famuyiwa, and 8 was written by Favreau.
Yeah, I mean that's what it seems like. Marked episode 5 for sure.
Yeah,
2 weeks,
Ahsoka.
3 weeks away. That's Ahsoka. I think Sasha Banks is coming in the next episode. We're definitely going to see him on the ship that we've seen in the trailer in this episode.
And then Carl Weathers and Cara Dune are coming in at 4 with
And
the
coming in
Carl
at
Weathers
4.
director. Yeah, we shall see. Hopefully that it comes out like that. And I'm guessing in this next one he'll figure out where to go find the Mandos at.
Sure. Or he'll get a message to have to go meet up with Carl Weathers and Gina Carano on some planet
Yep.
at the end. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for Mando. This is probably the lowest rated episode.
Yeah.
in the show's existence. Oh, strike that. I think the gunslinger was.
Oh, I like the gunslinger, man. They
That's
be doing
that's
Bobby
what I'm saying. Like
Cannonball's son bad.
people really hate the gunslinger, and I just don't understand. Like I
This
just
was
didn't think it
definitely
was
worse
that
than the.
bad.
This was definitely worse than the gunslinger. This was the worst Mando episode yet. I just was
Yeah, for
bored
sure.
the whole time. I was just like, I'm just watching this for the pod. I'm not watching this like the other episodes where I enjoy what I'm watching. This
Yeah,
felt like work where the other episodes did not. But all right, let's get to our draft, man. You got a coin by you?
I don't.
Oh, hold on. I think I got one because we had to draft the best music label on Bros Who Think. Um, whatever. I got a bottle cap. It'll work. Same thing. All right.
Yeah.
You want the top of the bottle cap or the bottom?
The bottom.
All right. It's the bottom. So you picking first? Are you picking villain first or hero first? And we're doing snake draft
Um,
format.
I'm picking hero first, and I'm picking Spider-Man.
Mm. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm going to pick villain first. I'm going to pick Magneto as my first villain.
Nice, nice, nice.
So since it's snake draft, that means I go back to back. I'm going to pick my second villain, who is Doctor Doom.
That's a big one. That kind of that changes the slate. So what were the two villains again?
My two villains are Magneto and Doctor Doom.
Those are two big ones for sure. I'm gonna draft villain next, even though since you drafted your two, it doesn't necessarily matter when I draft them now.
Yeah.
But I'll go ahead and get it out of the way. My villain is Kang the Conqueror.
Ooh, okay. Jonathan Majors.
Yeah, so new character, but I like where the direction's going with that.
Okay.
And because of Kang's origins, my next hero is Reed Richards.
Damn, big pick. I needed that, but that's okay. I'll still have a Fantastic Four member. Okay, cool. You went with Reed, so that's your back-to-back pick. Your back-to-back was Kang and Reed. So now it's about to be my next pick, and then I go first after. So since you took Reed, I'm gonna take Sue Storm to have to my Doctor Doom ties. And then right after that, I'm going to choose Cyclops from the X-Men.
Okay. That's a good one. Notice we haven't really done any of the big heroes besides Spider-Man.
Yep.
I'm gonna jump in with the next one, and it mainly kind of goes with the ties of Kang, and what we're gonna see in actual real life. I'm gonna go with Ant-Man.
Ooh, okay. Okay, nice, nice. All right, now it's my
So
pick.
no,
Oh no, no,
don't I
yeah,
have
your
two?
pick. This is your first pick because that was your second. So you
Um,
got two heroes. You got Ant-Man and oh no, you got three. You got Ant-Man, Reed Richards, and Spider-Man. Cool.
I think my next hero. Ooh, that's tough. That's tough. That's tough. I think I'm gonna go with Thor
Ooh,
right
okay.
now.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. I'm not mad at that. I'm going Black Panther, T'Challa, and then so that was my second pick of that round, and then I'm going to pick Doctor Stephen Strange. So right now I got Sue Storm, Cyclops, Black Panther, and Stephen Strange. I got two more heroes. I think you have one villain and one hero left.
Yeah, and for the villain, that kind of goes back to that Thor pick. I'm picking Loki.
Okay, nice.
And for the last pick,
Who's your final hero?
final hero. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I might forego and let you just do your pick, and I'll just pick last.
All right. So I got Stephen Strange, Black Panther, Sue Storm, and Cyclops. So so right now I'm gonna tell you the story, the story of what I'm doing. So I'm gonna draft Wolverine to give me some more X-Men. And I'm going to draft my final pick will be Scarlet Witch. So I'm
Oh,
going
you
Wanda
bastard.
Maximoff. That's my final pick. And I'll pitch my movie. I kind of have an idea for what my team's doing too. So who's your
Damn, I should
final
have
pick?
just thought of
You should
that.
have just did it. You should have just did it.
Dang, that was close. Because I don't want to cop out and just get the Wasp because like that kind of fits into what I'm trying to do, but I want to get someone else that might fit that. And then I don't want to get Jean because Jean is just so powerful.
Yeah, I didn't want Jean either.
Yikes.
I couldn't choose Daredevil because and I wanted to fit Daredevil on my team, but my storyline, there's no way he fits. You could choose
Yeah,
Daredevil.
I could choose Daredevil. I wanted to try and get um, a female superhero in there.
Yeah, I got two.
Um, so I guess I'm just gonna stick with the Wasp just because like I guess you can see where I'm kind of going with this. I'm thinking that Kang and Loki end up teaming up to do like a time travel deal, and so Thor obviously is involved in it, trying to take care of Loki, but then Ant-Man has to fight Kang, bring in Reed Richards with the familial connection, Spider-Man. Um, I was hoping I was going to maybe get Doctor Strange so I could include some kind of like multiverse into it. But Spider-Man can do a time travel. That'd be pretty cool. And of course, the Wasp mixes in with Ant-Man. So
Lit. I got Magneto and Doctor Doom meet on like a dark night, and they agree to have a partnership. They have a pact, but news of their partnership leaks, and Sue Storm, and because Black Panther's a Fantastic Four member, and I'm assuming that Reed Richards is off doing your mission, Sue Storm and Black Panther need to form a squad with the X-Men to help take down Doctor Doom. They require the tasks of Cyclops and Wolverine, but Wanda Maximoff hears that her father is out causing ruckus. She wants to join the squad, and Stephen Strange gets approached by Black Panther to join as well as a contingency plan in case Wanda Maximoff goes off the handles and goes off the rails, as someone who can contain her and as someone who can help kind of go pound for pound with Doctor Doom. So it's this mission of these 6 heroes before they actually do anything, before Magneto and Doom can actually acquire their plans. These six heroes go on a stealth mission, secret strike, to take down the partnership of Doctor Doom and Magneto.
it's pretty dope.
Yes, sir. Solid draft. I like both of our teams and both of our storylines. Interesting enough, none of us took Captain America. None of us took Iron Man. But you did take
Hulk.
Thor.
I did take Thor. I did take Spider-Man.
Yeah, but none of us took like the major Hulk, Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow, the major Avengers. You're the closest one. I did take Black
None
Panther.
of us took Thanos, and none of us took Galactus or whatever.
You need more than 6 heroes for those peeps, and like
you
could say you need more than 6 heroes for Magneto and Doctor Doom, but I think it's just I have the right characters to take them on. Like Magneto's family ties with Wanda. You have Black Panther as like Doctor Doom's a king, Black Panther's a king, and then Sue Storm has her relationship with Doctor Doom, and then you have Cyclops and Wolverine's ties with Magneto, and then Doctor Strange's ties to Doctor Doom. So I just felt like all of those characters really work well. But if I had a side story, I would have made like but you took Spider-Man first, but my other one was going to be Kingpin and Kraven the Hunter versus Spider-Man, Daredevil, Luke Cage, Black Panther, Jessica Jones, and Elektra versus those peeps. It's like a Marvel's Defenders, Marvel Knights taking on the Kingpin.
I thought about trying to get Jessica Jones in there, but she just doesn't fit into my time travel narrative.
Yeah, if you're going like that's the thing with Marvel. It's like unlike DC.
Now Scarlet Witch would have fit.
Where like DC, the street level vigilante, like Batman, Nightwing, they can go up against like world ender threats. Whereas like Daredevil's not going up against anybody that's not like Kingpin level, Kraven level. Like he can't go up against Doctor Doom and Magneto. He can't. Or he can't go up against Kang the Conqueror and Loki. Like that just doesn't fit for Daredevil.
No.
So,
no, not at all.
But that's all we
But
got
yeah.
this week for the draft.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty fun. We'll get in doing some more drafts while we're waiting for our, some of the other
And we might do
shows
it. I'm
that
thinking
we
we'll do a
like.
top 10 list next week. We haven't done one of those in a while.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
And then Pitchett's coming very soon because Charles says he's competing and he's ready. So.
All right. So yeah, lots to look forward to coming up, and hopefully we'll have an exciting Mando episode to talk about next week. But go ahead and check out a lot of that stuff that we were talking about on the Movie on the Rise.
Yep.
Wayne, Big Sky, Good Lord Bird, Basketball County, It's in the Water. Check out some of that Showtime stuff for sure.
That's a fact.
I guess the other thing that I've been watching a lot of that, I want to throw out to the guys out there that you can watch it is Outlander, and it's pretty much like if you like, time travel / Game of Thrones ish stuff. It's pretty much the same.
Good. Okay, bet.
And it's got all the sex and limb chopping off as Game of Thrones.
All right, I'm gonna have to check out Outlander. I've been hearing good things about it.
Yeah. But I mean, it is a love story, but so is Game of Thrones in some aspects.
That's a fact. But all right, you guys can follow me at LinBWT. Follow the Bros Who Think at Bros Who Think. Be sure to check out. There's a new anime talk episode out. There's a new Bros Who Think podcast out. Run It Back. We'll be back next week. We will be doing Superbad. Super, super excited for that. You guys should get that around Thursday, Friday-ish time. So just be on the lookout for that. But you can have all the information of all the stuff coming out on the network on Twitter, Bros Who Think. Also, by the time you guys hear this, there will be a new Late Nights with Lynn tonight at 7:45, 7:30. So just be on the lookout for that. But other than that, that's all I got this week, Shuby.
Do you have a way to watch past late nights?
It's on the VOD stream on Twitch. You have to watch the VOD before they leaves. But I'm going to pretty soon put the VODs on YouTube. So just be on the lookout for that. They'll be out.
You had a good one this week that I think people should check out.
Yeah, with Richie Branson. It was really good. Really, really good. For if you're a creator and you just want to learn how to, make your business or your model or whatever you're doing flow better, Richie gives a lot of good advice for how to get your shit popping. And
was that Richie or who was the guy that you were talking to that like did voice work with Michael B. Jordan?
That was Richie. He composed the soundtrack to Genlock, the anime with Michael B. Jordan. Yep. So he talks about all of that. It's a really good episode. Twitch.tv/Bros Who Think.
All right. So check all that out and check out everything going on with the network. So for Lyndon Burton, my name's Adam Schubert. I hope everyone has a great week. And as always, keep binging.